Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. As you can tell by the title, we are going to be running the 9th anniversary LR full power Broly on a 220% lead. I want to be doing more videos like this, but this is one unit that I really like. I do have a soft spot for him. I do think from the 9th anniversary, he's partially overlooked just because that was the anniversary we did get Beast Gohan, and he did dominate the game from one anniversary to the next. But Broly was very good too. The only issue is he did age out quicker, so it makes sense. But considering he does have a 220% lead provided to him by the 10th anniversary LR Gogeta, why not test them out? I do want to test a lot of units out. Now they do have 220% leads, at least as long as they get them. But he is starting with a 702k attack stat, 385k defense. We do have Carnival LR Broly next to him. So that does mean we have our slot 1 unit ready to go from turn 1, which is great. And now we just let Broly cook. Because full power Broly does have guaranteed guard, let's not forget. Because we did have his entrance animation, which by the way, I have a soft spot for not only this unit, but also his animations. I think they look sick. 12.2 is a very good starting point to go from. But I really like his animations, especially once we get him transformed. So we've got guaranteed guard, and off his entrance animation, 4 turns of a guaranteed additional, which is going to help with the stacks. And then key +5, 100% attack and defense. And then because we do have in slot 1 and slot 2, we do have that other guaranteed additional, which again is going to help with the stacks. And then I do have 2 dupes in him. So not quite rainbowed. We don't have that shiny, colorful star. However, there is a possibility he could get a Hidden Potential System additional. Not there, because Dokkan just doesn't like to give me that kind of luck right now. And I don't know why. Dokkan, what did I do to you? Please tell me. How do I get my luck back? When it comes to RNG across the game. Summons. You know, if you want to slide me new units, by all means, slide me new units, you know what I mean? But even when it comes to just getting additionals and crits when I want them, it just doesn't seem to happen. So yeah, why not quite rainbowed? 2 dupes? It's still enough. It's still more than enough, and he'll still be completely fine with even just 2 dupes rather than the full rainbow. Like, it's only going to make so much of a difference. He is level 10 links. I'll even show you that next turn when we get him back, just to show it to you. Because, you know, your boy's not a liar. You know, I'll come with receipts. I'll back up what I'm saying. But this is a unit that I'm not going to lie. I don't know who posted it. I was literally on my way back from work. And I just saw a tweet on the timeline saying, I can't remember if it was Broly still usable or Broly still fun to use. Which I don't doubt, by the way. Now, it's not saying that he's great for the current content. I'm sure Broly can get clocked 100%. He just doesn't have enough defense. He won't have enough defense. He's a unit now that's now just over a year old. Maybe not as old on global, but of course, because of the sync and everything, his aging did accelerate quite a lot. So I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to stick with what I said. He is a unit that is just over a year old. Naturally, he isn't going to be as good in the current meta. He is a little bit better than he would have been because, of course, the meta shift, the 220% leads, which, of course, we are running him on 1. We could have made it a little bit better for him by bringing in LR Broly, but overall for the team, it just didn't kind of make sense to fit him on. Like, we could have his domain active, but considering it's one of those short domains where you run dual leads of the unit that does have the domain, you pop 1 near the beginning or as early as possible, or as late as possible if you can hold on to it. 3 turns are up, activate the next one. Because we're not running it like that, because we don't have 2, is why I've decided to run the team the way it is without it. You know, I'd love to see, even though it'll probably be kind of difficult to set up with the type of numbers that enemies are putting out nowadays, I would love to have seen in LR Broly's domain up, Gogeta support active, and then a transformed Broly. But then the massive asterisk by that is the fact that you can't have him transformed at his best, because by that point his domain would have to be done, and then he's just not quite as good. He's not as quite juiced up as he looks. So while it would have been nice, it's still not doable. So this is why I decided not to bring in LR Broly. And I mean, off of 1 turn, he's already on 1.25 mil and 590k defense. Of course, he does raise defense by 50% for 4 turns. So already his stats, they're looking nice. I can't lie. They are looking nice. For a unit that I said is just over a year old, he is looking nice. And that is the kind of the cherry on top, is the fact that he has new battle motions. So it's even more fun to use this guy. But I definitely think, while yes, he did age, that is fair. While he probably isn't the best in the current meta, I said from the tweets I was seeing on the timeline, this guy is looking usable. I was seeing team completions. I was seeing Broly pop off. I was seeing big boy numbers. I was seeing like 40, 50 mil transformed. You know, that's what some of the better units now from the current meta are putting out. It's just his defense probably not on the same levels. Probably not on that level to help him keep up and actually survive. But Broly's one of those units, and he was like that day one on release. Is he can attack you so many times. Yeah, we miss out on an extra additional or a chance of an extra additional because he isn't in slot 3. He has so many built-in additionals where 3 of them are guaranteed. 1 from entrance, 1 from being in slot 1 or 2, and then the other one just naturally from collecting orbs. And he's getting stronger and stronger every time. And then along the way, if you have crit built into him, which I do, he can do a good amount of combined damage. Like very good amounts of damage. So Broly's definitely going to be one of those units in that case, especially with him, as I said, not being the best, not being well suited to the current content. The stacking part, yeah, with content being a bit longer, but just not having enough defense, is going to come back and haunt him. Like, it can catch him. He'll probably get clocked. I'll definitely put my hands up to that. But because of how much damage you can do, surrounded by other damage dealers, it's pretty much, we're going to get you before you get us, before you get Broly. Okay, that's exactly what we're doing. But, you know, so far so good, but that's kind of to be expected considering we have only just started. Do I want to give Nameku another stack? I'll probably give Nameku another guaranteed stack because after he super attacks, we're gonna be moving on to the next phase. So we are gonna hit Broly's 4th appearance next turn. Yes, because next turn is turn 5. So next turn we are gonna have the final turn of the guaranteed additional and the extra key plus 5, 100% attack and defense. But considering we super attacked, I think like 6-7 times in total, we have padded Broly out a bit extra. Kind of like a mum and dad moment, a proud mum and dad moment. We've raised him, now he can fend for himself. He does have type advantages, so that's going to help him a lot more as well. And then there's also the Vegeta support. Now, we can get his domain out very early and get him transformed, which I still think he does have very good active skill conditions because his domain's attached to it, which means you kind of get it in some events halfway through the fight, but a decent point where it's not too early, where you need 2 in LR Broly's case, or you're not waiting ages. So a lot of the time, Broly still has that kind of small quality of his domain doesn't really clash with other units. If you have a team full of them, sure, it's going to happen, but they don't really clash. It's up to 1.37 mil already. I'm not going to transform him. Just for the fact he does have type advantage, I'm going to leave him untransformed. I should really let his animations also play out. Or his battle motions. There's his level 10 links, by the way. I said, your boy comes with receipts. I'll show you. I'll show you. But because we do have type advantage, I'm going to make the most of it. I could have used that Broly's active skill, but I'm not going to lie to you. I couldn't be bothered to watch the animations play out, but it's going to have to be done because I'm going to leave the animations on purely for the full power LR Broly. I said, they have a soft spot. I have a soft spot. They have a special place in my heart. I really do like his animations. The next time, I promise, I will use Tech Broly's active skill. I just couldn't be bothered to use it. But while we do have type advantage on full power LR Broly, we are going to leave him untransformed. We might as well save the domain for as long as we possibly can. You know, we have type advantage. We're still building up his defense by 50% for 4 turns. We're not quite done yet. Actually, no, this is the final turn. So I'll probably transform him next turn. And then we can beef him up. We can beef him up and beef him out. Only 2 super attacks, though. Only 2 super attacks, though. You know, I know we've lost one. But hidden potential system, Dokkan, this is what I mean. Where's my luck? Where's my RNG? I'm not even talking about summoning right now. I'm talking about crits and additionals. You know the amount of times recently I've seen my units getting additionals and they're always normals. I'm like, please, Dokkan, please. I haven't given a unit like 15, 18 additional in the hidden potential system to constantly see them do normals. What am I supposed to do with those? My RNG is poor recently. Maybe that's because Dokkan's building up the RNG for summons. Maybe that's Dokkan's plan. They're like, don't worry, we got you. We got you. Now, I'm not going to transform into Super Saiyan 4 just yet. I'm going to let these guys stack up instead. It's a bit more valuable than getting him out. Let's get you some defense. We'll do this properly. We'll get you some defense. I don't think Jeets in slot 1 will do enough damage to get the kill right now. So at least that way, Nameku can get another stack. And then if Zamasu still has enough HP left, he can then get his guaranteed additional chilling in slot 2. Which is basically what I'm playing for. But so far, I'm liking what I'm seeing from Broly. I am very much liking what I'm seeing from Broly, and we still need to transform him. We still need to beef him up. So, I'm very much looking forward to it. I don't want to transform him yet. I want to transform him when I get Gogeta out, so I can have everything essentially just... I want my plan to unfold. You know, I want to transform Broly. I want to have his domain up. I want him at his strongest, his peakest. And then I want to put Gogeta's active skill with him. Have his support going with Broly's domain. And then just watch Broly cook. Really? Really? Why'd you have to dodge? Maybe I should have transformed Goku into Super Saiyan 4. Don't dodge me again. Thank you. I appreciate that. Ooh, I mean, we could dodge this. Just like that. You dodge me, I'll dodge you. It's only fair, right? It's only fair. It's only fair. Like, I could do it now, but I don't want to do it now. I want to do it where it matters most. What are we up to, by the way? 1.71 mil. I mean, Joel's funny. We could actually put him in slot 1. I am going to do this. Before I forget, I'm going to do this. But I'm not going to transform him just yet. There's no point. There's no point. I want that domain for as long as possible. I want it where it matters most. And that is going to be on the final phase. Now let's watch the Carnival LR Broly commit murder against his own father. This is still one of the coldest active skills in the game. But yeah, those battle motions, by the way, like his Broly's are definitely up there. They just look so good. To be fair, popping him slot 1's probably not the best idea. You know, this isn't 9th anniversary times. While he'll probably be fine, he'll probably take some unnecessary damage that Broly just doesn't need to be taken. You know, while he has just shy of 400k defense and type advantage, it is only 400k defense, so that guard's only going to do so much for him. You know, this isn't 9th anniversary times where putting him in slot 1, because even when he come out, like, let's be honest, against a lot of enemies, he could actually go in slot 1. Because of the guard, 12.82 we were up to. Yeah, you ain't dodging shit now. Hold that damage. Like, he could actually go in slot 1. But when the harder enemies started to come out of the difficult content then, some of them actually caught him. You know, so at least the guard isn't kind of conditioned to slot 1. But he did have slot 1 capabilities. Let's not get it twisted. But... even then, he wasn't an outright slot 1 unit. The main thing that hurt Broly when he released, which he doesn't have now, which, I mean, this problem was fixed once Worldwide came around and Broly just got shown all the love in the world, was the fact that Broly was needed to be a slot 1 unit. Broly wasn't fully built to be a slot 1 unit. Could he be one at some points? Yeah, 100%. But was he built to be an out-and-out slot 1 unit? No. But, like, good for him. He doesn't actually have that problem now. I'm going to float you off. See, if we're doing a proper run, I get Vegito out, but I don't want to do tons and tons of damage. So, I'm not going to get Vegito out because I don't want to do tons and tons of damage. So, I mean, surely with type advantage, Jeets should be okay in slot 1. Because otherwise, if I get Vegito out, we're going to do loads of damage on counters. And Rose and Zamasu are probably going to be dead in about 2 turns. Which we don't want, because we want Broly transformed. 253. I'll take that. I'll take that. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're fine. We should be fine. See? I knew it would be okay. I believed in my boy. You always got to back your boy. Next time we'll transform though. Next time we'll transform though. We don't have quite the setup I want. We don't have the Gogeta support. But I'll definitely transform next time. We'll definitely transform next time. To be fair, Broly does benefit from Super Saiyan 4 Goku support. He does benefit from Super Saiyan 4 Goku support. So while Broly isn't really suited to be in a slot 1 unit anymore, at least while the domain's up, we do get that 26% damage reduction before he attacks, which is why a lot of people did put him in slot 1. But then we can get an extra 10% damage reduction, taking us to 36 with guaranteed guard, all the extra stats, and the domain being active. And then not only that, we can also have the extra 70% defense that Super Saiyan 4 Goku can give up. I'm liking the sound of that. It's only 36% damage reduction. Like, it's not loads. Do you know what I mean? But it's only 36. But 36% and God? With an extra 70% defense? Now you're sweet talking me. That's like going into Mackie D's and saying, here's like £2-3 on a burger. How about for £6-7 you get a large chips and a large drink? You know, the combo meal is coming together. So we're popping this first. This is still cold, by the way. This still looks so thick. I still think when he transforms, when he's in full power, I do think his animations are some of the best in the game. Still. Right, so we got his domain active, which means we have the extra 10% attack and defense for extreme class allies, 10% attack and defense for exploding rage or movie bosses. Superclass enemies do take 10% extra damage, which everyone here apart from the 2 Brolys are, but we should be good. I'm going to get Super Saiyan 4 Goku out, but considering this video isn't about him, like, don't get me wrong, love this animation, love when he transforms in Super Saiyan 4 Goku. It's not about him. I'll come back when he's done hugging the limelight. Okay, I'm liking the look of this quite a lot, especially with how many links we have active. 3.94 on the attack stat, by the way. 833k defense. Again, that is with the power beyond the Super Saiyan support. Look how sick they look. Look how sick these look, by the way. So clean. The only thing is, this is where team building issues come in. You're going to want Broly with another Broly. Slight problem. He needs to be in slot 1. But the fact we have type advantage should mean we're okay. But yeah, 833k defense. Don't forget 10% extra damage reduction. So we've got 36% in slot 1 and guard. This should be good. This should be juicy. This isn't even Gogeta support yet. What are we looking at? Double digits on the normals. Double digits on the normals. I expect that. What we put out numbers wise right now? 25.6. 25.6. Still a strong amount of damage. But let's not forget, Broly has a guaranteed additional super anyway. And then because we had an 18 key or more, that's another guaranteed additional. Did we get 24 key? I feel like we did. If we didn't, regardless, if we do end up getting 24 key, that's another guaranteed additional. So this is what I'm saying. While Broly may not suit and fit the current meta that well, with the type of damage you're doing with Vegetos, Gogetas, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, you know, year 7 easy A's, Broly has not chances of additionals. Broly, if you have 24 key, has 3 guaranteed additional supers on top of the one you have anyway, which means if you have any dupes or skill orbs attached to this man, you could then super attack 5 times in 1 turn. So Broly can always do some good amounts of damage. As I said, it's pretty much kill or be killed, and having Broly on the team, that can definitely be done. Especially with Broly having 26% crit chance with 12 or more key, and the extra 26 with 18 or more key. So you're looking at 52% crit, along with the crit you may have again in the potential system. So it all adds up. The one thing I've always been surprised about when it comes to Broly is, while being able to get 50% attack and defense, what, 4, potentially even 5 times from him supering, while that is amazing, like, I always thought that was a strong SA effect, I was always surprised, considering it is Broly, I was always surprised that they never gave him massively raises attack and defense. I was always quite surprised they didn't beef him out that much, but that's probably because he has so many guaranteed supers. I reckon if a couple of them were chances, they probably wouldn't have given it to him. No, we'll put you in slot 1. We'll give you some defense, and then I'll actually let you stay. Actually, no, do you know what we can do? We can just go for the turn skip. We can just go for the turn skip. Now, this is actually an animation I haven't seen too often, because when you're doing proper runs, you always want Big Daddy Gogeta out. But we might as well go for the turn skip, because I'm not going for the W. I'm just going to show off my boy Broly. I'm trying to show him off, you know, and his big juicy muscles. So I'll take the turn skip, because we've got the Gogeta rotation next turn. We've got exactly what I'm looking for next turn. I'll let you two stay together, because just like my boy Jeets and his Saiyan pride, if the W's there, if it's waiting for us, I'm gonna try and get it. Do you know what I mean? You know, we still got to go for the dub. We got a Dokkan attack, which I would throw, but considering how much health Rose and Zamasu has, we should be good to do it normally, especially on my unfused Vegeta. His attack stat isn't that high. Plus, the healing will be quite nice. We're only on 47%. But I can't lie. For a unit that is just over a year old, that kind of fell out of everyone's graces quite quickly. Again, probably got quite overlooked. Like, I know a lot of people said he was good, but definitely got overlooked because of Beast and team building issues at the time. And then there just being so many probably better options in the game right now, which there is. Broly's actually doing very well. Broly is cooking. And then let's not forget, he fits on a 220% lead, which not a lot of units in the game have that right now, just because that is the new meta shift. So already has that in his favor. But then also, he belongs on a 220 lead that, if you wanted to, you could bring dual Gogetas, which means you can have another unit benefiting from Gogeta's ridiculous support. Twice. Not once. Twice. It was so nice, I had to do it twice. Right, speaking of Gogeta, let's get him out. Let's get that chunky support going. So, let's not forget, Broly from the domain is going to have an extra 20% attack and defense from his domain being active. We don't care about the superclass allies taking damage. Gogeta is not taking damage, okay? And then we've also got Gogeta support currently active right now as well. So let's pop that. Let's get that going. Let's hit you with the Rasengan. Let's contort the screen. Don't worry that there's two of you. There's enough to go around. These are still so sick. I mean, of course, they're still sick, but there's just so much sauce on Gogeta's animations. Yeah, hold that. Contort my screen. Glitch me out. Boom. Boom. Set up, ready to go. What's Broly sitting on? So Broly has a 6 million attack stat, 728k defense. We've got the 26% damage reduction from the domain before we attack. Do we get any extra links from Gogeta? No, we don't. So I'm going to let him stay in slot 1. There is a super attack after Broly supers as well. So this is perfectly set up. And also, let's not forget the guaranteed guard he's got. So that healing Rose and Zamasu are doing right now, that's not going to mean too much in a minute. 39.5 mil. 39.5 mil. 22.8 mil crit. There's an additional for 28.1. See, this is a unit that, as I said, is just over a year old, that is putting out numbers that is on the units currently coming out of the current meta. Units that are currently brand new summonable units and also easy A's out the current meta. Broly on these teams is also putting out similar, if not in some cases, better numbers than they are. Now, can you imagine at some point when, number one, Broly gets a 220 lead that involves him and all the other Broly units, and there's just a tiny bit more synergy? You know, not saying this is a bad build for him. I mean, he still took 537k, but bearing in mind, also, that didn't go unnoticed. Just shy of 50 mil on Carnival LR Broly. Do you want a video on you as well? I think he might want a video on him himself. What are you talking about, almost 50 mil? Now, am I saying the team synergy is bad? No, it's still very, very good. If you just have one extra Broly with another Broly, they're usually fine, especially with a Gogeta support and a 220 lead. But when you can have all of them together, have the domains overlapping each other, the support like constantly on flow that are on those teams, it's going to work a bit better. Don't get me wrong. Still very good here. Clearly. I mean, even Carnival LR Broly's putting out some ridiculous numbers like that. I see you. I see you. He might have to be next. For the 220 lead videos, he might have to be next. But then also, while it's definitely not on the cards anytime soon, because again, LR Full Power Broly is literally only a year old. He came out during the 9th anniversary. Let's not forget, when it is his time and he gets an easy A, I think he has very good foundations for an easy A. You know, he has guard. You know, they could get... He's naturally going to be beefed up. That's one thing Broly's never struggled to do, is do damage. He's going to be beefed up for whatever the meta is at that point. The kind of numbers units are putting out. He's already keeping up now, as is. As I said, for new releases and easy A's anyway. So imagine it when he gets an easy A and he gets basically brought back into the meta once again. As I said, Broly's never struggled to do damage. Hopefully his defense kind of keeps up with it. But then they could easily give Broly, because he's already got guaranteed guard, they can give him some damage reduction in base, however they choose to do that, whether that's a little bit, build some up, both. And then with his domain being active, give him a whole load more damage reduction when you transform him and have the domain active as well. Instead of 26%, bump it. Give him like 50, 60. You know, the domain isn't always permanent. Even though Broly is one of those units that even after you use the domain, he stays transformed. When the domain's gone, he loses the damage reduction. So beef him out. Give him more. When the domain's active, give him some extra. Other than that, Broly, as I said, he's got the stats. He's got guaranteed guard. He gets extra key per orb obtained. Has loads of built-in additionals. Built-in crit. This is an easy A where I know it's memed a lot. But how can they fumble him? I mean, depending on what's going in the game... whenever his easy A does come out is a different story, but it's one of those where you honestly look at it and think, how can you fumble this man's easy A? Because he already does so much. He just needs more of what he already does. And however they choose to do that, as I said, whether that's through build up, just giving him a ton more damage reduction, entirely up to Dokkan. But he just needs quite a bit more than what he's already got and what he's already doing. But seeing him do just shy of 40 mil, as I said, that is what units are doing right now in the game on 220 leads with current easy A's, current summonable and premium units. So I'm impressed. Even Carnival LR Broly, I wasn't expecting to see pretty much 50 million from him. As I said, he might have to be the one I do next. But I'm definitely impressed with what I'm seeing. He's definitely tanked quite well. Can he still be caught by a super attack, even with Gogeta support? Yes. You know, we took over 500k against some of the harder-hitting enemies. I mean, Rose and Zamasu were doing about 4 mil. So the fact that he survived it with none of his damage reduction anyway is still quite impressive. At least I'm pretty sure Rose and Zamasu's super attack damage is around about 4 mil. So to do that with no damage reduction is still quite impressive. But can he get caught by a super attack? Of course, 100%. Especially with Gogeta's support not there. But this is what I'm saying. When he eventually does get his easy A in a couple years' time, give him some more. Give him some damage reduction that isn't just attached to the active skill in the domain. Have some like base damage reduction of like 30%, 20%. give him the extra 20%, 26% attached to the domain, beef him out while it's active, and that'll do him a whole world of good. But overall, Broly for 2025, Broly showing up in 2025 was not on my bingo card. He still looks incredibly sick. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care, have a great day, and peace.